Welcome in, everybody, to another fantastic episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. On this episode, they keep giving us, we'll keep taking, and another win, 27-26. We'll talk about the Commanders, the Denver Broncos, that win that we just all got to see. Phenomenal ending. We'll talk about the AFC West. We'll talk about the AFC. We'll talk about maybe a free agent signing to the practice squad. You know what it's about. It's about the Denver Broncos. It's all about ready to get started right about now. That's right, man. It's the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name is Keith Brugman. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We have an amazing sponsor. They're Morgan Trinkets. We'll talk about all of that a little bit later. Right now, we're just in here talking about the Denver Broncos ruling the NFL and the AFC, stacking win after win after win after win, getting it done. Don't matter how they do it. It just gets done, and it don't matter. We love it, just like we love our fantastic co-host that we have this evening. You know him. You love him. I'm going to start off to the side of me with Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. He's been on a podcast extravaganza, a tour, I don't know, a marathon this evening. Welcome in, Kenny Kirkpatrick. Hope you have a voice for a few of our questions, my friend.
Yeah, definitely glad to be here tonight on a Wednesday night. Got a fun agenda for everybody, and looking forward to it. And the first Wednesday in December, and Christmas just around the corner. Can't believe I'm saying that.
I can't believe it's December. I can't believe November's already gone. I can't believe that the year's almost over. We're within 30 days, and I can't believe that Jody braved the roads all day long just to skid into his house and onto your podcast network right here on Rocky Mountain Sports Network, the Denver Bronco Roundup. Welcome, Judge. Good to have you, my friend.
What's up, everyone? Another exciting win, 10-2. Every time we've been 10-2, we've been Super Bowl bound. So, knock on wood. And you said earlier, it doesn't matter how you win. To some people, it does, but those are just the haters.
Oh, and there's plenty. There's plenty. I love that you get into every single locker room interview. And it's always about it, man. It's like, we'll just keep doing it. We'll just keep winning. Y'all can keep doubting, and we're okay with it, man. It's how the Denver Broncos roll these days, and I love that we just keep rattling off wins. I love that we get Pearl Heater coming in here right off the bat saying hello to everybody. Welcome in to the posse. That's the chat that y'all are a part of, and you guys knock it out of the park. Right off the bat, we're going to start talking about this Commanders win because we really haven't gone into it in detail since we put down the licking and put up another win, 27-26. Kenny, you live out there in the NFC East, and you know the Commanders pretty well. Did you expect the fight that the Washington Commanders put up? Because it was a battle, man. Let's face it, overtime, 2-point conversion. It was everything.
I did expect the fight from the Commanders. Dan Quinn, very well respected head coach, defensive coordinator. Team hasn't been playing well, but they had a bye just like the Broncos had a bye, and they were home. In national televised game, they wanted to prove that they're not laying down for anybody, and they didn't. And they came very close to beating the Broncos, and the Broncos came away with the win. You take it any way you can, but the Commanders showed up, and I expect him to show up the rest of the year as well. Terry McLaurin came back, so gave Mariota an extra weapon, and they did very well on the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, I wasn't very surprised at all on the Commanders showing up.
I will say this though, man. Marcus Mariota played probably one of his best games I've ever seen him play, and I not necessarily was a Marcus Mariota hater. I mean, I wanted the guy to do well when he came into the NFL. So it was surprising to see how well he did. I wanted to get into sticking to our agenda because I don't want to get too far off script, man. I want to get into what we did well. And Jody, I want to start off with you. I want one thing at a time, so don't rattle off 7 things that we did well in this game. One thing that we did well that you can think of that you just like, man, it's good coming out of the bye week and seeing the Denver Broncos or a player perform as such. What do you got for me, Judge?
We finally got Evan Ingram involved. Not sure he's the Joker that Sean Payton talked about at the beginning of the season, but this was his coming out party. I think he had like 7 catches for like 90 yards or somewhere close to that. And hopefully this is things to come. He's big impact over the middle. I mean, he catches those little passes that move the chain. Hopefully this is something they can build on with him.
Yeah. Evan Ingram. I mean, obviously that pass where he took it up the seam right up the middle. I mean, that was the iconic piece that he put on the field as we saw him, take control. And it was just a different side of Evan Ingram. It seems like it's been weeks since we've seen that. You know what I mean? So,
what was cool about that is they kind of set that up all game. He was going to the outside, and on that play, he faked to the outside and went inside. And I mean, he kind of left Bobby Wagner, in the dust, and away he went.
So we kind of talked about this. Commanders defense maybe a little bit aged, and Bobby Wagner kind of showed his age on that particular play. Kenny, I'll go over to you, man. You watched this game, like you said, nationally televised game. Denver Broncos end up eking out this win, but what did they do right, man? What did you see that you liked from this Denver Broncos team? Like I said, it to me, especially coming off a bye week, you know what I mean? You're hoping to see a little bit of something.
What I liked, and they don't get mentioned often. I know our podcast here, you guys mention this group a lot, but the offensive line allowed 1 sack. It was that Frankie Lufu good play he made there to get to Bo Nix. But other than that, this offensive line blocked extremely well for Bo Nix. And once again, protecting the quarterback. And that's when you win games. And all year long, they've been protecting the quarterback. And it showed with the Wattenberg extension that they gave him, signing him. But this unit's legit. It's one of the tops in football. We talk about the best defense in football. I think this is a top 5 offensive line in football, and it showed again on Sunday night.
I agree with you, man. I agree completely. It just different pieces and parts that did come together for this Denver Broncos team. We'll get to a few more of them. I want to hit Roy real quick, though. He says, "Hey there, horseman. It's not about the snow; it's about the cold. But until Saturday, we're going to get about another 5 to 10 inches of snow." And he says, "I just want to beat the Raiders." I love that. I love that. It's like just the last little sentence. I just want to beat the Raiders. Roy, I need to do this. I need to do this more often. Chime in from where you're from, Roy. I always forget, man. And I mean, because you're getting pounded with snow, 5 to 10 more inches. Pearl was saying that she thought Sean Payton had Bo in a rhythm for a change, and that and Paul's coming in and saying Bo played well. 45 attempts from Bo Nix. He was definitely had his arm loosened up and ready to go. It was still a passing game. I'm gonna give a hats off. I'm gonna say one thing that I think went really well coming out of this bye week. If I'm gonna take the mic for a second, I didn't see a penalty flag on Riley Moss for any pass interference, and he's been taking a lot of heat. And with a lot of heat, you get a lot of attention. And the refs, had that pocket about halfway in their hand halfway in that pocket, about ready to pull that yellow flag when the guy's got a reputation out there for doing such. I think he played a really good game. And I know the PS2 came back, and that should have helped Riley Moss, but Riley Moss had to help himself, and I think he did a fantastic job. Even on the touchdown pass that was Odell Beckham-esque, he was right there. He couldn't have played it any better. I don't blame him one bit. Sometimes even Riley Moss gets mossed, and it just happened. It was a beautiful pass, beautiful catch, and I think he just played an outstanding game. Jody, I saw you hit the mic. I didn't know if you wanted to chime in on something.
I was just going to say it looked like the boxing gloves helped in practice all week. So
yeah, maybe. Rodney Garcia says, good evening. Much love from Kuwait. So there you go. Chiming in from where? Rodney, appreciate you coming in, chiming in all the way across the ocean. Not sure why you're there or what you're doing, but appreciate your time that you're committing to us right now, talking a little Denver Bronco football. And Mr. Michael Ronquillo, everybody's friend Michael Ronquillo, since I have Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick right next to me. Good evening, Keith, Jody, Kenny, and Gobo. Broncos, he's got the blue and orange hearts. He's got the mile-high salute. Good to see you, Michael.
Comes with 100 stars as well. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael, man. Always clap it up for Michael Ronquillo, and appreciate the additional support, man. Especially, let's face it, Broncos country, there's lots of reasons to support your team right now. Like I said, came in. We're on a tear. We're laying it down. We're taking names whenever it comes to Sunday or Monday or whenever they're on a schedule us. We're going to go in there. It seems like we're taking wins. A reason to be excited. I'm going to, I didn't want to, I kind of want a direction, but I don't know if we want to go a different direction. I have game balls here, guys, and I'll just go really quickly around the horn. You can change your answer because Jody, you said Evan Ingram, or you can go a different direction. Jody, who are you giving your first game ball to? I'll let you go first as a Bronco fan.
I'll give it to Evan Ingram. Breakout game, big catch in overtime. Other than the couple of drops, I thought he played pretty incredible this game, and hopefully, like I said, it's a sign of things to come, and we're going to need him down the stretch. We're going to need all the playmakers we can, because I'm not sure that this run game ever gets going or committed to. So
let it be Evan Ingram. Game ball to Evan Ingram. Get that passing game going, and with Evan Ingram, we did see kind of a different Evan Ingram than prior to the bye week. Good game ball there, my friend. Kenny, who would you give a game ball to for this Denver Broncos team in this game?
I'm going to go on the defensive side. It wasn't the defense's best performance, but I'm going to give it to Nick Bonito. He did have back on the sack board, and then most importantly, the get your hands up when you can't get to the quarterback. You don't get his hands up there, Broncos may have a loss in that 2-point conversion. So I got to give the game ball to Nick Bonito because of those two plays.
Good to know that where everyone's coming from. We have Kuwait, we have Sioux Falls, where they're getting dumped on 5 to 10 more inches. I'm going to keep you on the mic for 2 more seconds, Kenny, because we got our good friend Karen coming in, and she's saying, hi, all. Hit that like button. Kenny, give me your pitch on why they should hit the like button.
Yeah. If you're out there on YouTube or Facebook, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. What it does is it helps us out. If you like what you're seeing and you like what we're doing, it gets us noticed more than other shows, basically. So the more it helps the stream if you hit the like button. It's free of charge. It helps us out. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. We're trying to reach a goal of 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so we can start doing some more fun things with everybody. So help us get to that goal. Hit that like and subscribe button today. And also on Facebook, if you're on Facebook as well.
Yeah, we'll take it. Take it wherever you're at, man. And thank you, Karen, for coming in here and reminding us. We don't say it enough sometimes. Rodney's saying he felt disappointed in that Mims is not getting enough reps right now, but he's going to go ahead and give his game ball to Jeremy Crawshaw. So there you go. There's a name that will perk up Kenny's ears and make him look at that smile. Look at that smile. Kenny's such a Crawshaw fan. Nick Benito says Pearl. And I think that would have been my initial. If I'm going to go around, we're all going to just give one game ball, right? And I'm looking around. I got to give one to Bo Nix. Bo Nix and his performance. Bo Nix just from the one touchdown pass, just the one touchdown pass. Boys and girls, if they're, there's been a lot said about Bo Nix and what he is and what he isn't. If there isn't an image of like 5 seconds of video that tells me what Bo Nix is more than that touchdown pass, I mean, the strength in the lower body to keep yourself upright long enough, and then the arm strength to whip it while you're falling to the ground and be, well, right on target. I mean, right on target. Just a phenomenal play. You know what you got. You got Bo Nix. Let the haters hate. Let the national media, as Michael Ronquillo was saying, not like the Denver Broncos. It's fine. It's fine. Don't like us. I love it. Good evening, Keith, Kenny, and Judge. What's everyone's opinion on acquiring Elijah Moore? Man,
and
I don't know if you had it exactly
well,
right in the agenda. I think this is almost right where we're at, but we'll skip ahead just a little bit because I do have one other piece that we'll get back to on the game, but we'll skip ahead. I'm sorry, Kenny, I didn't mean to cut you off, my friend.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say that's 100 stars also in that comment from Phil McLaughlin. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Coming in here, giving us a little bit of love. Loveland's getting 4 inches, according to Pearl. I'll put that comment up here in a second, but 100 stars. And I'm going to go to our good friend, the Judge, Jody, because he's the one who broke it in our private chat. Elijah Moore signed to the practice squad. And I never really got an opinion after that, man. Big-time prospect coming out of Ole Miss originally. Elijah Moore is now a Denver Bronco, at least practice squad player. What do you like about Elijah Moore? What does it tell you about this Denver Broncos roster, in your opinion?
I love the signing. 4.3 guy out of college. Doesn't drop the ball. I think that's really – I keep harping that, but I think that really is why Denver keeps bringing in these wide receivers. They lead the NFL in drops with 32 drops. And it's on Peyton's mind. I mean – they had 5 drops against the Commanders, and this is why they keep exploring different wide receivers. So I'm not sure about the Raiders game, but I would expect him to be on the 53 sooner rather than later, and I'd expect him to be getting a decent amount of snaps, see if maybe they can get the long ball going, with that 4.3 speed. So I like the signing. There's no negatives to it. So
deep ball is a big part of the Sean Payton offense. Elijah Moore seems like it's a good fit. He's obviously out there on the street. What do you think about Elijah Moore coming to the Denver Broncos? I'll get Kenny's opinion on this as well.
I think it's depth. The Broncos lack depth in certain positions, and wide receiver after your top 3, you argue there's no depth there. And like Jody said, a deep threat. I don't know if you're going to see a lot of snaps from him, Jody, and everybody, but when he's in, you may see a deep ball. So you may see 5 or 7 plays for Elijah Moore and 2 or 3 deep shots when needed. But it also adds depth. And little Jordan Humphrey might have seen his couple days with the Broncos. Elijah Moore may eventually take over that spot. And little Jordan Humphrey either goes on the practice squad or they release him. But I think Elijah Moore will be on this roster in a couple weeks for sure.
Army Rat 74 coming in saying smash that like button. I love that too much not to put it up on the screen. So thank you, Army Rat 74. Adam and Kayla coming in saying happy evening. Go Broncos. This is a must win. game to keep pace with the number 1 seed. Yeah, he's already looking forward to that Raiders. I got my Raiders outfit on, I think, this evening, man. All dressed in black this evening. So I wanted to back up just really quick to, we talked about what went well, what we liked about coming out of the bye week. Just really quickly, what still needs to improve? What are you looking for that didn't happen maybe? Kenny, I'll start with you. What did the Denver Broncos show against the Commanders that, in your opinion, still needs some tweaking, still needs some work?
I'm not going to take the easy answer. I'm going to stick with the defensive side of the ball here. Covering tight ends is going to be very important going down the stretch. Zach Ertz was eating up this Denver Bronco linebacking core, which included Alex Singleton and Dre Greenlaw. 3rd and 21, if Alex Singleton doesn't make a tremendous play, Zach Ertz has a first down on a 3rd and 21 in that game. But Alex Singleton, and hats off to him coming back, definitely emotional seeing him on the field. But they got to improve in coverage with the linebackers because it could be bad against some really good tight ends. And Brock Bowers is a good one coming up on Sunday.
See how we can handle Brock Bowers on Sunday. Good point out, man. This defense didn't have his best game. The offense is what ultimately propelled them once again to a victory in the stretch. Jody, we could sit here and we could pick apart this Denver Broncos team. We are not going to be the naysayers of the national media, but we always know that there's room for improvement from time to time. What did you see versus the Commanders that said, hey, I still like to see some improvement here or there?
I'll kind of piggyback off of what Kenny said, the linebackers. I'm gonna go kind of to the coaching. I don't like the rotation that they used. Sternad, I think, got 2 snaps, and I think he's been great this year. You've got to find a way to get him more snaps and keep him involved in games. And you got to figure out a way. You can't let Zach Ertz go off like that. Kenny said Brock Bowers is, probably the best tight end in football. We did it, whatever that was, a few weeks ago, pretty much shut him down. But hopefully I'll attribute this to just the long layoff and the bye, and we kind of lost some momentum. Hopefully we get our groove going again. And this is a big game because, it's part of the, the tiebreaker with the Patriots. So this is almost a must win if you're going to finish tied with them. So,
yep, we're going to get into that, man. And the next thing on the agenda is going to be the AFC West in general. But for me, I got to point it out. I'm a big RJ Harvey fan. I wanted him before anybody even heard of him, it seemed, and I got him on this roster. I kind of feel like Paul over there on the K&K Sports Show and his run that he had on draft picks of who he wanted and who's on this team. And I had one, RJ Harvey. But RJ Harvey, even off the bye week, even with a game plan, still I need to see more, man, especially with J.K. Dobbins going down. Jaleel McLaughlin looks like a better option at this point than RJ Harvey, and they're going to have to come up with a decision as they head towards the playoffs of what they're going to lean on. I'd love it to be RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey did have some big blocks and showed something in that regard, but from a running perspective, I need more than 3 point whatever yards per carry. We need to be pushing 4 at some point. I know that Sean Payton wants to lean on it, and I think the reason we haven't seen it is because he just doesn't have the trust yet in what they're putting on the field. So please, RJ Harvey, that's what I want to see more. That's some improvement from RJ Harvey, and I think it relies a lot on RJ Harvey to do it in order to make Sean Payton have to run the football through RJ Harvey a little bit more. So,
and I'll say specifically, stop trying to bounce every run outside, because that you got away with that at Central Florida. That's not working in the NFL. So
yeah, Yeah, he had that one bad one in the game where
And they called it out
obvious.
on
They did.
called it out on the TV right away too, because the hole up the middle was
I'm glad they did,
big.
because I was calling it out too, man. There was like a seam. You knew where it was supposed to go. It was a power up the middle. Decides he wants to bounce it right and just got gobbled. Just got gobbled up, man. Our good friend JC Weaver coming in here. Good to see you, JC. He says, boys, hope you have had a great holiday. We survived another heart attack game. Do we think the type of football is sustainable into a deep playoff run? I'll get a quick rapid fire answer on that one. Kenny, is this type of football sustainable all the way through a playoff run?
Yes, if the defense bounces back next week and is the defense we've seen all year, yes, you can make a deep playoff run. Yes.
And Jody?
Yes, because we've seen it in 2015. So,
yeah, a lot of heart attacks in that season as well, man. JC, I think when you find a will to win, and that's the type of attitude you have, and it's obviously that this team has picked up that torch and they're running with it. Absolutely. I think that this team can stack wins not only through the regular season, but they could start stacking wins through the playoffs. I think the biggest thing is how once they hit a snag, and is it good to hit a loss before the playoffs, or is it good to just continue to win all the way to the playoffs? I don't know what this situation is. If you get a loss, when should you have it? I just don't know, as we start ticking off these games and we keep going on this winning streak, when is the best time for it to end, if it ends prior to the playoffs? And how do you kind of reset yourself after that? I think that will be a big question when and if that ever comes around. Paul's wondering why we haven't gone after a running back or something. And Rodney's saying that as of right now, Harvey is leading all rookies in touchdowns. So, there's something to be said there as well. Obviously, a receiving option as well, and he's gotten a few in that regard. Michael Ronquillo says Sean Payton said you need to poke running back RJ Harvey to get him going. Oh, that's funny. I was looking for some Sean Payton quotes and I didn't see anything come up, so that's interesting. Need to get him going. Need to get the guy riled up maybe a little bit. I noticed he was in good old Evan Ingram's face after that big old catch and run, getting them all riled up. I love, love him or hate him, Sean Payton out there, even with Will Lutz, right through. You know what I mean? I mean, he's out there. He's in their face, man. Patrick Wilsey coming in saying, aloha, 3/4 of the horsemen. And good to see you. Patrick, I recently reached out to you and said, hey, man, I think I'm getting low on coffee. And then I forgot. I have this background, huge, giganto bag from Lion Coffee that I haven't broken into yet. And totally forgot about because I want it sitting up here just
for display purposes only.
For display, but check out that. I gotta get my workout with this vacuum sealed bag. No, Lion Coffee. Check them out if you love coffee. Then you'll love Lion Coffee over at lioncoffee.com. Good to see you, Patrick. I just had to bring that up. I was waiting for you to come in and join just for that alone, my friend. We're going to bust through this really quick, gentlemen. We're almost at the halfway mark, but I want to bust through the AFC West picture, man. First up, and I'll go to Kenny Kirkpatrick on this one, man. The Raiders as our next opponent, man. The Raiders are
next point. Yeah.
As we look at the AFC West, obviously the Raiders look like zero concern, and the Raiders have plenty of reasons to be picked on by the national media, if not us. Talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. Talk about who they are in the matchup that you foresee just briefly coming up around the corner.
Mediocre team to start the season off. They go to Geno Smith route instead of a bridge quarterback. Instead of drafting a quarterback, they draft Ashton Janty. I thought that was way too soon for him. They got playmaker in Brock Bowers. They traded their wide receiver. This is a team that needs to be on the rebuild. Maybe they should have thought about trading Max Crosby at the deadline. I think the Broncos win convincingly. Not going to be in the 30s like some people are predicting. That's just not the Broncos style. It'll be more in the 20s range, but Broncos are going to come out and handily take over this game against the Raiders. Raiders are looking for an early Christmas vacation, in my opinion. One of the best Christmas movies of all time, by the way, Christmas Vacation. But Raiders might play like it.
Crapper's full, Clark. Stacy Elizabeth Kelly coming in. New name. Kind of agreeing with you, but kind of not. The Raiders are not an issue. Like you said, we should go up there. We should be able to put up some points, maybe not 30 plus, but put up some points. But brings in a great point. However, we've had issues, had way too many issues on close call type of games. Do we play down to our opponents? Possibly. The other question I start getting to, especially as the Broncos keep piling out the wins and end up being kind of the pinnacle to knock off, is how many of these teams are trying to do that? Knock us off the top of the heap, even when you might be one of the worst teams, you're trying to get up in order to do it, especially in the AFC. So, Stacy, Elizabeth, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I do also fret over the possibility of this Raiders game, which we'll talk about more on the next episode on Saturday. We'll break down this Raiders game, come back for that episode. But I do fret a little bit about how close this game could be. Jody, I'm going to switch over to the Chargers for you, and then we're all going to talk about the Chiefs. And we'll make sure that we all get our 2 cents there. The Chargers, man, rough season for them, man. Talk about who they are, where they sit in the AFC West, the competition they are for the Denver Broncos, and maybe some of the obstacles they have, including a recent one as well.
Herbert had surgery Monday on his wrist, so that just sounds like he wants to play, and that's the plan. But we've seen how that worked out with Rodgers. I mean, it limits you. They basically had to run pistol the whole game because he can't get under center. He can't give snaps or hand the ball off. They're beat up, down both tackles. I mean, so I'll give them credit for being, 8-4 where they're at, the 5th seed currently. They've got a tough game this week against the Eagles. I think it's kind of a fork in the road for both teams. I mean, both teams are struggling. So maybe the Eagles can do us a solid and, put them away as well. But there's still always a threat. I think the wild card is how, if he plays, how Justin Herbert looks and how effective he can be with that, because he's still, is a top quarterback in this league. So,
yeah, I mean, it's just been, just about the time you're getting Amari and Hampton back, then all of a sudden Justin Herbert goes out and he fractures his wrist. They've been up and down with injuries across that roster. It doesn't matter if it's offensive line or defensive line or you name it. They've been riddled with injuries. Continue to kind of push through. And honestly, before Herbert got his latest injury, thought they had a good chance to maybe really push hard and make it difficult for the Broncos and other teams down the stretch. Now it'll be a question mark, in my opinion. The Chiefs. Jody, I'll start back around with you and go back around the horn on this one. The Chiefs have been up and down. Some people are ready to put a fork in them. Some people say they're the biggest threat in the AFC West, outside of the Denver Broncos, who obviously are leading the way, but might be a bigger threat across the board. What are your thoughts about the Chiefs, where they stand right now, and the level of competition they'll provide down the stretch and their potential to make the playoffs?
They're the AFC champs for a reason. I mean, they have one of the best quarterbacks of all time and Pat Mahomes back there, so they're always scary. But I think they're on life support right now with 6 losses. I think one more and they're done. And they have a team this week it's one team that I don't want to play because they remind me a lot of Denver, is the Houston Texans. And I think Houston puts a fork in them, eliminates them from the playoffs, eliminates them from winning the AFC West. And I couldn't be more happy. I don't need Denver to win a Super Bowl with Kansas City in it to make it feel any better. We played a part in them not being here. We took care of business with them at home. So this is a big game this week for them. They're on life support for the rest of the season. They basically have to run the table. So
big game for them. Big game. Kenny, sometimes we get all wrapped up being Broncos fans and we get a little clouded and we can't see things and we don't have a very clear view. What's your view of the Kansas City Chiefs from your perspective, my friend?
Sure. Real quick, I do want to thank Phil again. He sent another 100 stars. We'll get to that comment in a second, as soon as we're done with the Chiefs, Phil. But thank you. The Chiefs are done. They are done. I'm wearing red for blood because teams are out for this team. Teams are coming after their blood, and they're getting it. The Texans are playing football just like the Broncos. They're winning with their defense and making their quarterback, whoever it is, Davis Mills, CJ Stroud, make a few plays a game. They're winning games in the low to mid 20s. They just beat the Colts. They're going out for blood. Sunday Night Football, they are going to beat the Chiefs. And who would have thought this going into week 13 that they would be 6-7 with the record? Week 14, I should say. Under 500. You're hearing it here. Everybody thinks the Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs. Not this guy right here. Chiefs are out, and that's going to be big, great news for not only the Broncos, but everybody who's in the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, fantastic news. Fantastic, great news if we don't have to deal with the Chiefs. I got some other fantastic, great news. It comes in the form of our sponsor, and that's Morgan Trinkets. If you're looking for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, State Gold wholesale prices, they got you taken care of. They've been doing it for over 34 years. I think it's funny because when ever Trevor's on here, he says like 33, but then he goes back and it's like it's got to be almost like 35 now. I got to get the exact date from Pearl. That's how long they've been doing this, man. They know what they're doing. They know how to do it. They know how to get the best deals to you, and they do it either via eBay, which you can type in Pearl Heat and get to eBay. You can go over to Morgan Trinkets on Etsy. I mean, there is just like so many different places you can go. Check them out. Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, State Gold at wholesale prices. They also do shows. I don't know how many shows they're doing with winter weather right now, but if you're in the Southwest or in the southern Wyoming, northern Colorado area, and there's a show going on, that's where you want to check out for Morgan Trinkets. Like I said, check them out over on Etsy, Morgan Trinkets Go. Check them out over on Pearl Heat over on eBay, and get your Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, and Estate Gold before it's too late, because you're probably getting it for Christmas. Get it in now. Hurry, quick. All right.
Keith, I want to get Phil's comment real quick.
We do need to get, and his comment brings in a lot of people talking about a lot of different things. Go right ahead, though.
He's saying, good to get Jonah Ellis back and then Ben Powers in a couple weeks. He really likes to play from Adam Prentice so far. Go ahead, fellas. You take it over. Keith and Jody, what are your thoughts?
This is what I love. I want to start from the back end, and that's the only part I'm going to leave. I'll leave the rest for Jody. I think Adam Prentice, I've been talking about it. Who's going to be that guy that steps up, helps us down the stretch into the playoffs, is going to be a key component that we didn't see all season long. It seems like when teams have Super Bowl runs, it's like all of a sudden this guy comes out of the woodwork, comes out of nowhere, and ends up being that guy. Adam Prentice is doing a fantastic job, not only blocking back there, but he's also taking the ball as a pass catcher, as a runner, and he can do damage back there. He is truly, I think, one of the biggest pieces that we could possibly add down the stretch. And I'm so glad to see Adam Prentice back there. Get a fullback running back system back there, especially with a guy like RJ Harvey. It's what I want to see. I think you can get the run game going. So glad that you dropped the stars and talked about Adam Prentice. I'm leaving Jonah Ellis and Ben Powers to Jody. What do you got for us there, buddy?
I'll continue backwards like you did. I'm not sure when Powers is healthy if he comes back in the starting lineup. I think Alex Pacheski has played very well. I think he might have Wally Pip Ben Powers. And I think that might be your left guard, starting left guard next year. Saves you some money, gives you some flexibility. And then Jonah Ellis, it's just another pass rusher to add to the mix. I mean, he's probably Denver's best edge guy when it comes to the run as well. So I think it's a huge get as well. You've seen the sack numbers kind of go down a little bit, and I think that's part of it because they're not staying as fresh in the rotation and stuff. So I think that's big. So, and I agree with you on Prentice. I've been saying Prentice for a while. I mean, they're putting him in there on big third down plays. He's picking up blocks. He's great in pass blocking, and he catches the ball well. He had a couple catches out of the backfield Sunday for first downs. And I agree with everything you said. I would like to see him back there with Harvey, and I'd like to see how if Harvey can, with him blocking, if he can follow him up the middle and, see where that goes because you're going to need this run game come playoff time. So,
Jonah Ellis is a full participant in practice today, says Michael Ronquillo, and he also has to give us the bad news that Nate Atkins is still did not practice at practice today as well. I was trying to see
if he's still out, why do you think we didn't put him on IR?
I think they try to hold out. I think they try to hold out. I think they try to hold out as long as possible and try to use that as a last option if things don't go right. Now, at some point, you also get to the point where maybe you don't want to put them on there because now you have to restart that whole clock. You know what I mean? You know? But I think it's tough. I think it's a tough thing to try to manage and easy to pick apart. But that's just my opinion. Kenny, why didn't they put him on IR and should they have?
Because I feel like sometimes you don't know. Maybe they can come back sooner than expected, a week or two sooner, and you get them back. You don't have to put them on IR. It's not an ACL injury where it's a year-long injury. Some injuries take 4 weeks, some injuries take 6 weeks. They're hoping for the sooner turnaround, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
There you go. Officially, Pearl saying they started in 1990 with Morgan Trinkets. I just wanted to bring that up. So that, I mean, I think it's safe to say now we got 35 years in the books, and we'll be going on 36 here in the very near future. Also, if you're in Longmont in December 14th, the Gem Show is going on. Check out Morgan Trinkets. They'll be there. That's a great place to check out. And think about it this way. You don't have to worry about shipping if you can, get out to the show, pick up some great gifts. They can be underneath the tree with 10 days to spare. All right, you're all set to go. Why was Ellis not playing, Kenny? Or I'm sorry, Jody. Why was Ellis out? I forget off the top of my head.
He's the hamstring. So
hamstring. Thank you.
I think they've just been cautious with it. I mean, you're probably your deepest with depth there. I mean, Benito Cooper, Tillman, and then the rookie, drawing a blank from Q Robinson. Yeah. They've all been playing well, so there's really no need to rush him back.
Yeah. I do like, though, Ellis seems like he's like that third quarter guy, really comes in, and, maybe it's just because of the rotation. He tends to put his best on the field, it seems, in the third quarter. I always watch out for him in the third quarter. Might shake up the agenda a little bit. I'm going to go right to Kenny right now because if not, we're not going to get to it. Kenny did a little bit of research, and he's going to do a little throwback, look back for us as well. I wish I had all the graphics. That would have been great to throw these up. But you got the list, my friend.
Yeah, so before the season started in the off season, Keith started doing Hot Take Thursdays where we put a little fun little twist on some hot takes. And I went back and I was watching some of our shows on YouTube, and I saw some of those clips. So I got one hit and one, on the flip side of it, fun one complete miss on our hot takes. And I'm going to let you guys on the hits. I'm going to let you talk about your hit. give you a couple seconds to talk about your hit. The miss, we won't talk about the misses too much. We'll just mention it. Trevor's not here. Trevor's hit, kind of a hit, because Trevor's hot take on his hit, I put down as a hit. Denver Broncos defense will lead the NFL in turnovers. They're going to lead the league in sacks, so he's very close to that. So I'm giving him a hit there. His miss isn't a total miss compared to some of ours. His miss was Q Robinson, and he still may. Q Robinson is going to make the All-Pro team for special teams. I don't think that's a bad miss, but this and that. So I'm going to go to Jody. I got Jody next here. Ooh. Jody, your hit comes as a Bronco fan, and if it wasn't for Drake May or Matthew Stafford, you said Bo Nix will be MVP. I got him as MVP because Broncos wouldn't be 10-2 without him. So I think that was a hit, Jody. I'm going to give you your miss because it's a bad miss, and then I'll let you talk about Bo Nix for MVP. Jody's miss, everybody. Audric Estime will win the running back one position and have 1,200 yards this year. We won't talk about the miss. Go ahead, talk about Bo Nix for MVP.
I don't think he's up there in the MVP, but he's definitely been the MVP for the Broncos, and he's been the most clutch quarterback in the fourth quarter. He pretty much leads in all stats when it comes to that. We've seen it again Sunday in the overtime. I mean, 4 plays, boom, 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 and we're right down the field and scoring a touchdown like it was nothing. If I could just ask for one thing, can we see that in quarters 1 through 3 or a little more of that? But it's coming along from where the Raiders game was. Footwork and pocket presence. I mean, again, he worked on it over the mini bye, and it's gotten a lot better. Almost to the point that he will take a sack over even trying to run now. So there needs to be a happy medium, and he's kind of went from one extreme to the other. But he's in year 2, and he's figuring things out, and he's basically on the same pace as he was last year. And if just some little things can get ironed out before the end of the season, there's no reason that he can't go to toe-to-toe with any of these quarterbacks currently in the playoffs that are – I mean, they all have flaws this year. There's no great team. So look for Bo to continue to, have magic and get used to it, because I think this is what you're not going to see blowouts the rest of the year. Just get used to it.
Yeah, very well said, Jody. Do want to get a couple comments in real quick, Keith, before we continue. Phil's saying, don't feel bad, Jody. Some of us thought Loner would be an end zone pro. We're going there in a second. Don't worry, Phil. We're going there in a second. Michael Ronquillo coming in with 100 more stars. Keith, Jody, Kenny. He's got a question, and we'll get to his question real quick. Who needs to get the number 1 seed in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl championship? The Patriots or the Broncos?
Ooh. Who is it more important to? Who would it go through, basically, right?
Who would it go through? I'm going to say it's more important for the Broncos as an outside perspective.
Okay.
Because it is going to be extremely hard for anybody in the playoffs to come to Denver in January when the thin air, possible snow, the elements in Denver. Get that 1 seed, Denver. Let somebody beat you in the 52-80.
That's where
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that's why I'd go on the opposite side, because I think it's a toss-up in New England, but I think the Denver Broncos have a big advantage. So I think that the Patriots do need to get that AFC number 1 seed in order to get to the Super Bowl. I know I just said it both ways, but I don't think they have I don't think they. Yeah, I mean. If they're the number 2 seed, like literally, I don't think they have any chance. Like any chance. I would take our chances going through Denver. If they have to go through Denver, I would take our chances 9 times out of 10. But if we have to go to New England, at least they have a shot. So I think the New England has to get the AFC number 1 seed in order to go to the Super Bowl. I think the Broncos could still win it on the road.
Jody, you're the tiebreaker. Michael wanted all three of us to answer it.
Easy for me. It's Denver, and it's really for one reason. This defense carries this team, and when you get a noisy crowd at home, I was there for the Chiefs game, it impacts the other team and it benefits this defense. So that 12th guy on defense, it really makes a difference. So for me, it's easily Denver.
Fine,
Nice.
I'll take the loss.
Hey, let's get that 1 seed. That's a good loss to have, Keith.
That is a great loss to have. Great loss. Michael, thanks for the stars. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for the question.
Thanks for all the star givers. I do got to give a little bit of kudos or a little bit of recognition to our good friend Karen, who says, guess what I'm doing on Sunday? Celebrating number 60 with a Broncos win and a Chiefs losing again. Happy birthday, Karen. I'm going to clap it up for that one, man. A little early birthday. You enjoy it, man. Enjoy your Broncos, and happy birthday to you. Thanks for coming in here. Maybe you'll come in post-game and hang out with us and celebrate that win and your birthday all on the same time, man. So
absolutely.
I was trying to look over the agenda and see what we have left.
I still have a couple of.
Oh my goodness, Kenny! I was like, I almost cut you off. Oh my god, I got all sidetracked. Go right ahead. You're right. Promise. No, you're fine.
You have the best. You have the best hot takes, so mine are going to be up next. So you nailed your hot take. Mine was pretty good too. My good was Devon Vele would be traded before the season started or released. And the Broncos did trade him for a 4th round pick, a heck of a draft pick. Devon Vele ain't doing much in New Orleans. So I give myself a pat on the back. Jody, I give yourself a pat on the back for Bo Nix MVP, because you know what? It's not all about stats. It's about wins, and Bo Nix is doing it. So pat yourself on the back, because he is an MVP in my opinion. So Devon Vele, a pat on the back. My miss wasn't terrible, but it was off because he hasn't even played a game. I said Drew Sanders would be the starting linebacker on this roster over Alex Singleton. He hasn't even gotten to smell the field yet with his injuries. But
starting on IR.
Those were mine. I felt Vele would get traded. Yeah. I felt Devon Vele was going to get traded or released because of the Trent Sherfield signing, Pat Bryant getting drafted, and the emergence of Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims also in this offense. He was the odd man out. I felt that was the way they were going to go, and it turned out to be that. Now let's get to Keith, because he had a heck of a hit here and a heck of a miss as well. So you get the best and the worst of
highest of the highs, the lowest of the lows. All right, what do you got
this
for
high?
me,
I'm going to give you the high. Keith predicted the Broncos will win the AFC by week 14, everybody. It's not clinched yet, but it looks like it. If you ask me, by week 14, they won the division. Congratulations, Keith. That's a big pat on the back. We'll let you talk about why you thought that in a second. And your biggest miss out of all of us, Caleb Lohner, season's not over yet, will have 2 game-winning touchdowns. No, actually, Jody, you're right in there with Jody with Audric Estime as the biggest miss.
I got a chance. He's on our team.
You do have a chance. You're on the team, and you did have the greatest hit, because the Broncos may have this division clinched already by week 14. Talk about why you thought the Broncos would have it clinched by week 14, Keith, real quick.
You know, second year for this offense, Sean Payton. You got to trust in a coach that you brought in. You traded for, you gave a big contract, and you saw it starting to build, but probably bigger was on the other side. I've been down there for multiple training camps. I got to look Jonathan Cooper in the eyes. I got to see Nick Bonito and talk with them, get their signatures on this pennant in the background. Got to talk to Zach Allen. Like I said, I don't think there was a guy that was more football than I've ever met for that team than Zach Allen. That guy is 100% football, the team. This defense I knew was going to continue to step up. You got a returning Pro Bowler. You have Vance Joseph that could have been out the door, comes back to this team, and I knew that they had something to accomplish. This team has ridden the backs of this defense, but more importantly, this offense, Sean Payton, Bo Nix, has gotten it done when needed down the stretch. And yeah, they're almost ready to wrap it up here in week 14. That would be fantastic for that prediction to come true. I'll take the Caleb Loner with 0 touchdowns if I can get the AFC West all wrapped up by week 14.
Oh yeah, you take that loss all day. But yeah, that was a fun little twist. I wanted to do something fun with you guys, a recap of the year so far. So we had some of our hot takes and hot misses. But I think, Keith, I know you won't. I don't think you'll disagree with this. I think when the playoffs come around, maybe we do some more hot takes and do them on Thursdays with everybody. Some new hot takes. But congratulations, Jody, Trevor, Keith, myself. We all had one good hot take, and hey, let's keep them going. It's fun when your hot takes hit. It's definitely fun. So it means your Broncos are having a good season, most likely.
I have one that I remember quite a few in the chat said, and I think I said it as well, that Jaquan McMillan would be released before the season started and Johnny Barrett would be your starting nickel. So I'll take that I'm glad that didn't happen, because I hope he gets re-signed. I think he's the best slot corner in football, and wherever you got to fit Johnny Barrett in, so be it. But you've got to do whatever to keep Jaquan McMillan. He is balling for this team, and I'll gladly take that that I was wrong on that one. So
Michael Ronquillo just kind of updating us. So he says they haven't opened the Drew Sanders for the 21-day window as of yet, and he's not playing with the defense as of now either. So long way back for recovery, it looks like, for Drew Sanders, and probably not going to be taking over at middle linebacker anytime soon, Kenny. Sorry about your hot take there, buddy.
Yeah, no, that was my miss. That was my miss.
Kenny, what was your hot take on the Giants? Did you have a hot take on the Giants, Kenny?
Well, I'll give you an easy one, Phil. I had the Giants going to the playoffs as a wild card team.
Okay.
That was one I can remember. But one that hit, I said that Cam Scatterbo would take over the lead running back, and if he didn't get hurt, he might have been an outside shot for Rookie of the Year. But that was my hot take, that Cam Scatterbo would emerge as the number one running back in Giants backfield this year. That was a hot take that I had.
All right, Kenny, thanks for the rewind button. And like you said, maybe it's a fast forward. We'll have to get fast forward to the playoffs and get our hot takes all ready for then. But man, what a great look back, and at least taking a look at a couple of them from both of us, and from all of us, I should say, and kind of give an idea of maybe where our minds were at and how right and how wrong we could be. So it's always fun when you're out there trying to do hot takes, though, at the same time, because you're trying to put something out there that's a little bit spicy. You know what I mean? A little spicy out there, and may not always come true. So it's good that when you get a couple hits, though, too. Let's see. Let me this is how I think we're going to wrap it up, because I see we just got a few minutes left, guys. The Raiders are the next opponent, man. So I want to know from you, and I'll start with the judge here. What are the Broncos focusing on practice this week as they get ready for the Raiders?
How to contain Max Crosby. It's really their only weapon on defense. And I hope that they are focusing on two things: how to get this deep ball going a little bit. Hopefully Elijah Moore is part of that. And I hope he's a part of it because of the drops. Hopefully they're working on that. And I hope they are working on this run game, because you seriously are going to need this in the playoffs. That's why I still go back to Buffalo was one of the scariest teams, because at the end of the day, when nothing else is working, they can hand the ball off to James Cook, and he can run all over you, and they can run the football. So Harvey is not going to be a J.K. Dobbins 100-yard runner, but if he can get you 60, 70 with the sprinkling in of other guys, it just will take so much off of Bo. And so that is what I hope they are focused on this week.
Kenny, what would you hope this Denver Broncos team is focusing on this week as they look forward to the Raiders?
Focusing on defense, getting pressure on Geno Smith, forcing a couple turnovers. Most important, not allowing, and I saw the stat earlier, I forgot to mention it, not allowing 10 receptions for 106 yards from Bach Bowers and Michael Mayer. Got to contain the tight ends, because that's what Zach Ertz had on Sunday Night Football, 10 receptions for 106 yards. Stop Brock Bowers. Let Ashton Janty beat you. Ashton Janty hasn't beaten anybody yet this year. Let Ashton Janty beat you. Don't let Brock Bowers have a monster game. And like I said, on the defensive side, get the pressure on Geno and force him to make some errant throws.
I'm going to go backwards in the comments from the posse. Pearl's looking for a complete game. Just wants that complete game. We got an opponent that should be lined up for us to both perform on offense and to perform on defense. Let's go out there and get it done. Phil McLaughlin coming in says, get Mims involved deep, Ingram in the short game. That's what he's looking for. Maybe Elijah Moore is in the process of coming to the 53 and would like to see Mims involved before we automatically default to Elijah Moore, and I understand that. We would love to see Marvin Mims more involved. Karen coming in says, more passes to Sutton would be nice because there's been too many to Franklin. And we have seen that switch throughout this season, and I felt it was a little bit more even. I think we saw a little bit more Sutton, but it certainly wasn't to the extent that we are used to seeing a Cortland Sutton. I think we had the opportunity to maybe be able to spread the ball around and make sure that you don't, lose that connection of Bo Nix. That will also be a big connection, I think, going down the stretch for Bo Nix and this offense. Rodney's coming in and says Bo Nix has to not play scared, and we need to stop the run. One thing that I loved in this last game, and a lot of times we used to break down these games a lot more, Jody, but one of the things I saw was a flat-footed Bo Nix throwing and dealing at times in the pocket. That made me feel a lot better and feel like he wasn't scared. Use his legs if he needs to. Just don't be Jackson Dart along the sidelines. Yeah, but Bo Nix can go ahead and he can use his legs if he needs to. I mean, Jackson Dart, hats off to him coming out in the press conference saying, I'm going to be out there, I'm going to run the ball, I'm a football player. But my goodness, when his ankles were above his head, it's not necessarily how you want to see your quarterback take a hit along the sidelines. So none of that for our Bo Nix. And Michael Ronquillo saying that he heard that Elijah Moore could take over for wide receiver Marvin Mims. So watch out for that. Wow. Yeah, they are using Marvin Mims as a running back. I'm kind of like on the same page as what a lot of people, because I ran through these comments, are. But honestly, I wanted to go back and highlight that Cortland Sutton. I think it's also imperative that we need to not lose focus of the main pieces and get too far off a track trying to get everybody else involved. Sometimes go back to the basics and go back to what works. I would like to see that Cortland Sutton involvement come back around a little bit. Of course, I'd like to see the progression of Evan Ingram continue, and I'd like to see that running game get going, and we need to cover tight ends as well. But if I'm just going to point out something, I do think that we're missing a little bit in Cortland Sutton, and I think if we utilize Troy Franklin and Cortland Sutton in the game rather than just one or the other, I think we become a little bit more dynamic as well. So that's just one of the things I would say working on is getting that connection going with Cortland Sutton. I think that's going to be key as you go into the playoffs, which we're bound for. Gentlemen, I'll just go around the horn. We'll get some final thoughts in. Kenny, you did a double show. We'll get your voice taken care of right off the bat so you can start resting it. I'll go to you first, my friend.
Appreciate you guys having me on tonight. Had a blast doing that, doing the segment, but doing the whole show with you guys, always a blast. Posse, you guys were amazing as always. I want to thank everybody for tuning in last night for our debut episode of The Juice, which was the Morning Juice, which we took over night times. Very successful debut episode. If you want to hear more about the AFC playoff teams, not just the Broncos, come check us out on Tuesday nights, 9:30 Eastern time, 7:30 Mountain time. But I'll give you a quick prediction of the game since I won't be with you on Friday live. I'll probably be able to tell you in the chat, but I'm going to go. Don't get discouraged, Bronco fans. Don't get discouraged, Jody Keith. It's just the way the Broncos are winning this year. Broncos 20, Raiders 13. Game is closer than it should be, but the Broncos take care of business, and the defense doesn't allow that much. And a 20-13 victory for the Broncos, and get to 11-2 heading back home for a couple big games coming up.
Very good. No predictions from Jody, and I like the prediction of the win. Kenny, thanks so much for hanging out with us. I should back up. Fantastic segment. I always love your thoughts, and looking back at the like I said, the Hot Take Thursdays was fun, man. It was a good time. Good to chuckle over our losses, and nice to pat ourselves on the back when we get things right every now and then. We're not always wrong and out here just throwing things up against the wall. We got some things rattling up in these brains of ours. Jody, I'm sure you got a few things rattling around as we're about ready to get out of here, and you got some final thoughts.
No, I just want to see this win streak continue. Find a run game. Keep getting Evan Ingram involved. I'd like to see Elijah Moore. Hopefully he plays Sunday. See what he offers this team. And just keep your winning ways. It's almost a must win if you end up tied with the Patriots because of the common opponent. So this is a big win or a big game. You need to win this game. And hopefully they can, put them away early so that we don't have to hear another week of, well, you can't put away inferior teams. So, but keep the win streak going and keep working on stuff. And hopefully by the time the playoffs are here, everything is clicking and we're off to the races for a long playoff run.
I didn't think about this, Jody, but we've moved a lot of things around. And of course, the next Denver Bronco Roundup show is going to be on Saturday. I don't think are you going to be around for our Saturday show? And if so, if not, I need a prediction from you, at least a score prediction right now.
I probably won't. I'll go 31-10. I think they put some things together. They're missing they traded their best receiver in Jacoby Myers. They fired both offense and defensive coordinators. They're in turmoil. And I think Denver finally puts together a 4-quarter game. So
good to see Graham too, man. And I love that, man. I'd love to see a 4 quarters of football, 31-10 victory, put it to bed early, show some dominance. And like you said, put all the haters to rest and not have to hear it for a week. That would be fantastic. I'd love seeing Graham in here too. He says, I like the score this time around. How about a crazy 10-win season turnaround to turn around the confidence? So yeah, it's amazing. All of a sudden, man, you start stacking up those wins, and the fan base and the players and the coaches, they all get a little more confident, man. Final thoughts. We've moved things around. You need to like, you need to share, you need to subscribe to make sure you never miss a beat on everything that we got going on right now. The Juice is on Tuesday. We got the Denver Bronco Roundup on Wednesday, like you're watching right now. The preview show has been pushed to Saturday, and you'll see me and Trevor on Saturday nights at 7:30 p.m. So we're trying to line it up all 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and of course our most fun show, especially this season, coming in post-game, talking Denver Broncos victories right after the game. Make sure you're there for us as well. Gentlemen, thank you for an amazing show. Thanks for coming in here and talking Denver Broncos football every single week. It's been easy with the wins, but it's always a pleasure to sit here and talk with you. Thank you to the Posse, man. Posse, you guys absolutely rocked. Comments were off the charts. We had new faces, probably because you guys are all hitting that thumbs up button, free of charge, hitting the thumbs up button. I see 10 viewers and 6 reactions on Facebook right now, just letting you know. So I know there's a few more in there that can go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it a ton. Get some more viewers in here talking, and changes the landscape. You guys are absolutely amazing, and we appreciate every single one of you, but especially when you're able to come in here, drop a little stars, help us out a little bit, keep the juices flowing, and the podcast going. We appreciate it a ton. I see thank you, Pearl. So thank you, Pearl, so much. Great show. The juice was great. Thank you, Kenny. So the Juice was an amazing show. If you missed the debut, don't worry, it's coming back next week. Check out all our shows. We appreciate it. We're part of the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We got our amazing sponsor, Morgan trinkets. But we do got to get out of here the way we always do, gentlemen. Make sure you
we got
keep,
last minute Facebook stars from Phil, from Michael.
Oh,
I didn't see that one, so I do apologize.
what do we got?
I don't
Last
have
minute
there it
Facebook
is, 50
stars from Phil.
50 stars from Phil. Sorry. Thank you for that, Michael. And thank you, Phil, for the last minute stars there right before we went off. Appreciate the support, guys. We really do.
Yeah. And his comment was, can we please put away a lesser team quickly? Up 10 at the half is what he wants to see. 50 stars might get that done, Phil. Thank you, Phil, for coming in here, supporting us. And yeah, sentiment is right here as well from all of us. We'd love to see that win put away early. Obviously, Jody with his 31-10 victory. He's looking for a big lead at halftime, at least by 10 points. But we're not going to lead you astray. We're going to be right back at you, like I said, again on Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Me and Trevor will be back here. We'll be breaking down everything that is the Broncos and Raiders game. Can't wait to see you. Till then, keep your boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course, Denver Broncos right there in your heart. Till next time, we're out of here. Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy the week.